Hey, everybody, we are live. Chef Eric Eisenbud here, the Grateful Chef, and welcome to the sausage party. We are doing sausage today. I decided, hey, why not? And who am I to make just one kind? We're making 3 different kinds of sausage today. Pretty darn exciting. So I got out my trusty meat grinder. We're going to do this in 3 parts. We are going to grind the 3. I have 3 different meats. So I got pork shoulder, I got lamb shoulder, and I've got beef chuck. So one of the recipes we're making is called, let me get the right name of this thing, is called servalata. It is Italian. It's an Italian sausage. It uses pork and beef chuck with some spicing we'll talk about later. The second one I'm going to make is a Macedonian sausage. That is a mixture of pork shoulder and lamb shoulder. And then the third one, we're doing a Thai Chiang Mai sausage. That is all pork shoulder. And again, we'll go over all the different spicing for all the different ones. So first I'm going to grind the meat, each one individually. I got to do the lamb first, then we'll do the chuck, and then we'll do the pork. So what I'll do is I'll grind them all, then I'll divvy up the pork for the different recipes. Then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you the different spices and blending that we're going to do and have our 3 meats ready. And then we're going to come back and we're going to stuff all, the sausages. And we'll have lots of conversation about it. Ask me any questions. I'll tell you what I know. We'll try and figure out what we don't know. And I'm pretty excited. So the first thing that is very important is all of these things just came out of my freezer. You can see the auger is white with frost. It's ice cold. Very important that the meat be frozen, semi-frozen, but the parts be frozen. So I'm going to put this thing together before we get a little too much melting. Okay, we've got our auger in. We have our blade. We have our plate. This is a 10 millimeter. Recipes I'm using called for 6. I don't have a 6. I got a 4.5 and I got a 10. We're going with 10. Why not? So first thing on is the.
Hold on.
What?
So we've got Eddie Travis.
Hi, Eddie.
Let's see. He said that if it's too cold, it's going to lock up. So
Yeah.
be conscious of that. You're
Yeah,
okay?
no, it's definitely. Well, the meat is too cold. Yes.
So.
I understand.
All right. He said he's made this before at Gramercy Tavern. That's pretty cool.
Fantastic.
We also have Steve Romo, who's here from New Braunfels, Texas. And we've got
Excellent.
Tony Villani, Eddie. I already mentioned Eddie. Marita Lynn is watching.
Nice.
So she said hi. I saw your brother out there.
Awesome. So first thing I'm going to do the lamb. It's the least amount. We'll push it out with a little bit of chuck, wherever that is. Where's the chuck? Oh, the chuck. Oh. Hello.
You said you needed something out of the garage?
Yeah, I have a container in the freezer. All right. So we're going to switch it up. We're going to do the lamb first. So you can see that this is semi-frozen. So it's not frozen solid. This piece, you can still bend it, but it's nice and ice cold. The chuck also nice, soft yet partially frozen. So we're going to do the lamb first, then we're going to push it out with the chuck, and then I'm going to go and I'll grind all the pork. So real simple. I'm going to load up my hopper here. And what you do is, you want to cut your meat into strips, because what's going to happen is the auger will pull the strip in. A little solid, but you know what? This is a powerful grinder and it'll be fine. I am not worried. All right.
That's a lot of meat in there.
The other thing I like about this is it's nice and quiet, this grinder, this limb. So I have in here, this is what I usually do my mixing in, this big one. But here I have smaller hotel pans that I'm going to grind in. This has been in the freezer, and I just had it in the refrigerator a little bit. So let's do it. What are we waiting for?
Eddie is asking for some Grateful Dead in the background. But I
Yeah.
think Facebook will take our video down.
That's right. I would love nothing more than that. Uh-oh. There we go. That's better. This piece is a little solid. Can hear that working. Uh-oh.
Did it lock up?
It locked up.
Wish somebody would have said something to us about that.
I wish somebody would have warned me about that. That's bizarre. Well, it's still got power to it, so it's just gotta wait for it to defrost. All right.
So does that mean we're coming back later?
No.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if I pull this out. What'll happen? If only I listened to Eddie.
We have Rita Estella Cottrell. She said, good afternoon from New Jersey.
Hello, Rita. This is what
Eddie,
this is what you get with live cooking shows.
basically, Eddie just said, I told you so. This makes the live stuff way more entertaining.
Yes. Yeah, he was so right.
Wow, is that frozen in there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it didn't happen last time. Eddie must be bad luck.
Because it wasn't in the freezer that long.
No, it really wasn't.
Yeah, probably
Well,
didn't.
last time I didn't do lamb, so. All right, guys. Let's see.
And this is what disassembly of the machine looks like.
He's got lamb on now.
Eddie said, take it all off, pop it up, pop it from the back.
Yeah.
He's done this before. And
Look, it's a lamb push pop.
He's sending lots of love.
So here's what it is.
Yeah. So I'll say that he said to take it all off,
Yep.
and Steve Romo said, hey, it's just a minor glitch in the system. So
Yeah, no big deal.
yes, I like it because it actually is going to give people perspective.
This is correct. All right, so we're going to switch it up. I'm going to do the chuck because the chuck seems nice and soft. And we're going to give our lamb an opportunity to defrost. And hopefully the pork will also defrost. All right.
Eddie said, hit it on the table.
Here we go.
Hit what on the table? Oh,
My head? Hit my head on the table?
He said, you've got it. All right.
All right. So here we go.
Next time you maybe listen to Eddie.
Uh-huh.
I see Lisa Eisenbud out there. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Lisa. So we're redoing our grinder here because, yeah, it was too cold.
And Eddie said, learning is all about learning. It's all about trial and error. It's very, very true.
That is true.
And for the folks that are just joining, what are you doing?
I'm reassembling my grinder because we're making 3 different kinds of sausage today.
Let's see.
Happy, happy, joy, joy.
We've got Perry Creamy and Denise Klein. Perry says, hello,
What's
Frisco.
up there, Perry?
Frisco.
Frisco.
So he had a couple typos. Jim Collins said, good afternoon. And Danielle Olson, hi, Eric Eisenbud, made your show, brother.
Hey, thanks, pal.
And
All right.
so Jim Collins just came back with, so don't grind frozen meat?
No, it needs to be partially frozen because otherwise the fat will emulsify and smear inside the machine. You don't want that. You want it kind of be separate.
So how do you know how frozen?
It's just got to be semi-frozen. You should put it in for like 30 minutes or so. We've maybe had it in a little longer.
Okay.
Lynn, while I'm yapping, would you get the container out of the freezer?
Only if you pay attention to your screen and how much space you've got.
I'm paying attention to my screen.
I'm sorry, what am I getting out of the freezer?
One of the hotel pans.
All right.
Or get both of them. So let's talk about these sausages. So the first one is the servalata. It has salt and pepper, fresh basil. It's got pecorino romano cheese and some white wine. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple looking. Macedonian sausage is pork shoulder and lamb. And those spices are salt and pepper, cumin, dry rosemary, minced garlic, ajvar paste, which is a paste made out of
Ajvar?
it's made out of red pepper and eggplant typically. I couldn't find it, and I didn't want to go to too many stores today or yesterday, so I changed it up. I put a little Calabrian chili paste in there. It's gonna be awesome, and red wine. And then our third one, the Chiang Mai sausage, has really interesting ingredients. It's got galangal, it's got cilantro, fish sauce, shallots, lemongrass, kaffir lime leaves, garlic, and Thai chilies. All except the cilantro I had in-house, which I'm very happy about. And so that one's going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to that one. All right, so here we go. We're trying the chuck. Let's go with the chuck. All right. We have rotation. All right, Chuck, don't fail me now.
Okay, Jonathan Carney and Eddie answered the question, but because we're on multiple pages, I'll make sure I share. Is that from Jonathan? He asked, from your experience, what would you recommend as the proper temperature? Let's see.
Maybe yeah, I don't have the answer to that because I never really measured it.
Eddie does.
Oh, Eddie, you're the best.
Okay, so you want to keep it below 35 degrees when it's all finished, so it doesn't smear.
Yes.
But want it to emulsify still, so not too cold. So he mentioned 33 degrees, but for this particular product, 32 degrees. So you're just there. Thank you, Eddie.
Thanks, Eddie.
And he said that's exactly what we had for Chiang Mai. We did chicken and pork.
Nice. You did that at Gramercy Tavern too? So you see why you want it to be cold? Let me show you this.
I'm going to zoom in.
So you want that,
Oops.
see how nice the fat is separated? It's not mixing with the meat. It will if I don't get grinding, but
There you go.
yeah, that's why you want it to be nice and cold. I'm a little nervous about that piece. I'm going to cut this one. I don't have to work so hard.
It's interesting because I could actually hear that it was a little bit frozen when you cut it.
And you hear the machine bog down a little bit.
Yep.
All right, we're almost done with the chuck. Thanks, Chuck.
Steve Romo said, hey, that's an awesome grinder. He has a portable one you have to crank. And you had one a couple of weeks ago, so this one's new.
Yeah, I had one that I bought very cheap. It was a toy compared to this.
But it died during your last grind.
Yeah, it died when I was grinding the last time. The internal gears just like broke apart. All right, so here we've got our chuck. Beautiful. It's exactly what you want.
Zoom in. Up, 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 up. There we go. Thank you.
All right, chuck. Let's check our lamb.
Steve Romo, what's the fat to meat ratio?
So typically for sausage, I'm going for, I want to go 25 to 30%. You know, most commercial sausage like reaches near almost 50% because fat's cheaper than meat. So yeah, I'm going for 25, 30%. That's my jam. All right, let's try this. Let's try the lamb now. I'm going to cut it down a little bit.
And Eddie,
go a little slower. Let me do this one.
that is a lem grinder.
It is a lamb. It is a lamb. Let's see if I have the model. I don't have the model, but it was about $300. Well worth it. Well worth it for sure.
And Eddie came back as well, just for the other page. He said 70% lean, 30% fat.
There you go. I'm cutting this into pieces so we won't jam up.
So for the next time, will you look to order a new 8-6 whatever it was?
Yeah, I can go and order from Lem. I can order all different size plates, which I will do. Let's see. Good thing we don't have any other place to be, right, guys?
Watching you grind meat.
Mm-hmm. All right. This looks like it should be okay. Feeling good, feeling good.
I'm sorry, which one is this?
This is the lamb.
Okay, this is the one we started with, yeah?
Yeah. This piece is a little bit hard. But I'll let that defrost a little bit. This piece is fine. This piece is fine.
Jim's a fan of Jim Collins is a fan of your shirt. Nice. Which shirt is this?
This is from the Greenwich Q Company, Greenwich, Connecticut. They have these things called fatties. They're these giant sausage things. That's what they're known for. All right, let's see how we do with the lamb, the ram-a-lamb. Come on, algebra. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, you really shouldn't have to force it through.
That's going fast.
Yeah, I love this grinder.
It's so much better than the other ones you've had.
I'm actually going to use this as the sausage stuffer also, because I have a really big antique sausage stuffer that's hand crank, but you really need to be doing a giant batch because there's a fair amount that gets caught in the trough in the bottom that you really can't do anything with. So I'm going to do this. I do wish it had a speed adjustment for making sausage, so I can do it a little quicker. The best thing to do is a vertical stuffer, which is on my wish list. Those things work amazingly well. When I was at the boucherie in Ohio with Chef John Foles and Phil Wingo from Pork Mafia, we used a vertical. Awesome. Really awesome. All right, success.
Can you talk again about what you're working on and what your plan is for the day?
All right, I'm doing sausage, 3 different types. So far, I have ground the chuck. I've ground some lamb here, and I'm about to grind the pork. And then we're going to make 3 different types. So once the grinding is done, I'm going to set up to mix the different sausage meats. We'll come back, so I'll show you, what that looks like, and then we'll probably come back a third time when it's time to stuff them. I've got my casings all set, ready to go, so should be pretty quick. All right, so I'm going to label this one lamb because the lamb and chuck look pretty similar right now.
And you are sharing this on Grateful Chef with Eric Eisenbud?
Yep.
So on that group, and you're also sharing it directly to Eric Eisenbud page.
On my personal
page, Eric Eisenbud.
Awesome. Good thing it's like 65 degrees in here. Right, honey?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What
So
you got
what
there?
I'm going to do is I'm going to grind all of this pork. And then I have to divvy it up depending on what the recipe is, right? So let's see here. Yeah, this feels fine. I'm gonna grind that right into my big kahuna. Awesome.
Question from Jim Collins.
Yes.
What are the best cuts of meat to use for grinding and making sausage?
So I use pork shoulder. You know, you've got that copa muscle that's full of fat and really delicious. The pork shoulders have just the right, amount of fat. Sometimes if I'm making certain sausages, I will add some fat back, which is not to be confused with salt pork. It's actually, it's actually solid, beautiful white fat. Love it. And but yeah, pork shoulder. The lamb I do use is a lamb shoulder, and the beef was chuck. This will be my first time doing a sausage with beef. I've been only doing pork, but all right, here we go. Pork. Yeah, baby.
Let's see. From Eddie, F-Dick canister is a beast. I don't know what that means.
That's a sausage stuffer.
Ah, okay. From Colin, Tapecox said, COVID-19 can't stop the grateful chef. Stay safe. Love the positive attitude. Steve Romo, beautiful color in all the meats.
Yeah, I got a guy, my butcher. I'm not using commodity pork here. And my butcher's got great contacts, great with farmers and, guys raising meat. So quite oftentimes I'm getting Berkshire pork, not in this case, but yeah, he knows the kill date and everything, so it's pretty cool. If you can get a relationship with a butcher like that, I highly recommend it.
So who's your local butcher that you would recommend?
My guy is Nick. He owns Nick's Meat Depot and Pat's All-American Butcher Shop. The Nick's is in Edison or Avenel area. Get whatever you want. He's a great butcher. The lamb shoulder, he pulled right off the carcass of the lamb for me today, or yesterday. Did I write yesterday?
It was yesterday.
Yesterday. Oh yeah. Beautiful. See, and don't forget that secret. Cut it into strips, and you let the grinder do the work. This pork is actually the perfect temperature.
And what are you doing with the cutting?
Just cutting it into manageable pieces. So it kind of will self-feed.
John Fink said he likes your setup over there.
Who?
John Fink?
Yep. I love it. It's listen, I started Betty Crocker with the KitchenAid attachment, and then I got smart, and I got another one that I bought for $40, and it was a $40 grinder that didn't last very long. And then I said, that's it. No more games.
I think their $40 grinder lasted a month, maybe?
Yeah, 3 grinds and the internals broke, so this thing is a beast. I love it. All right, so we've got our pork. Fantastic. So like I said, what I'm going to do is we're going to sign off right now. I'm going to measure out the pork for each individual recipe. Like the first one we're doing calls for 700 grams, so I'm going to weigh that out, put that aside, and then we'll come back and we're going to mix up all these meats, all these force meats, all 3 of them, all different flavors. So don't go far. Yes, Lynn?
So Colin, what that means is you need to come back again and reshare this again so everybody can come back and watch.
Yes. Beautiful. Let's do it. See you in a bit, guys. Peace.